Just figured that'd be a perfect way to start this video. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and I guess welcome to our Halloween special of this year. And so you can see it's a cold October night. I'm not filming this on Halloween Day, but it's probably going to go out on Halloween Day. But yeah, with that said, I saw Halloween 2018. This was interesting for me because, full disclosure, guys, I only really got into Halloween, like, the series until James Rolfe did his sequel-a-thon on CINEMASSACRE's Monster Madness, the first sequel-a-thon. And I was really introduced to the Halloween series from him, and it looked interesting to me, as Monster Madness really, let's be honest, guys, got me into doing the Kong reviews, probably thanks to Godzilla-thon. It got me into a lot of cool stuff and monster movies and everything. I have to thank James Rolfe for that. And I'll put CINEMASSACRE's link below. But yeah, so, I saw pretty much my first Halloween movie in theaters, and, let's just go over a recap of the previous installments before I get into this one. So, the first one is a classic. You can't beat the classics. It's a fantastic, independent film by John Carpenter. Jamie Lee Curtis is fantastic. The people playing Micheal, Nick Castle, all that shit, that's fantastic. The best character in the entire series for me has been Dr. Loomis, played by the wonderfully talented Donald Pleasence. He is the Van Helsing to Michael Myers being Dracula. Great character, fantastic, interesting character. And if you guys don't know, Peter Cushing was gonna play him, that was like John Carpenter's first choice because his Family Hammer movies is him as Van Helsing, but Cushing had just did Star Wars this following year, so he was too much to pay for an independent production. The first one was the most highly successful independent film of all time until the 1990 Ninja Turtles came out, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the first one's a classic. I love it. I don't know who owns the rights now to the series, to the original, because I remember it kind of went into public domain for a little bit. I think maybe Universal has the rights, given this is a Universal film, and for once, this is one of the best, very quickly, best Universal monster movies in a long while. Take that, fucking Mummy 2017, because what the fuck. So yeah, so love the first one. 2 is kind of 50-50. I mean, I like how it's the same night as the first one, but I do feel like it kind of just follows into the same path that a lot of other slasher films that came after Halloween followed. So, the kills are okay. Jamie Lee Curtis is once again great, and so is Donald Pleasence. So, the sequel's okay. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I remember seeing a lot on TV. I mostly remember seeing the ending. That was one of the first Halloween things I ever saw. I didn't even know it was part of the Halloween series. I was like, what the fuck is this movie? And I finally sat down and watched it first time, and I was like, I can see where the confusion is. I can see what they were kind of going for. But yeah, fuck it, I want my Michael Myers. And in reality, this is the real, well, no, I think that would be H2O would be the real Halloween 3. But you can't really connect this one with the second one. But moving on. So Halloween 3 is a mixed bag. Halloween 4 is one of my favorites, next to the original. I think it is a solid sequel. Does it feel a little cheaper? Does it feel like it's more of a blockbuster killing movie? Abso-goddamn-lutely. But what makes up for it, again, Donald Pleasence. The scene with him and the priest in the car is fantastic. The actress who plays, Laurie's daughter, I'm not sure, I can't remember what her name is, and I apologize to all the Halloween fanatics. She's a great actress. She's fantastic. Michael Myers is great, minus the mask being really shitty. And I don't like the way Michael's built up in this movie, although he has some fantastic kills. But the reason I love 4 so much is the ending. The ending is such a fantastic twist, and I was really hoping they would do that for the next one. They don't. Part 5 is a terrible fucking movie, a terrible rushed production. It is the fallen kingdom of the Halloween movies, in my opinion. I found it was a rushed production. They didn't know what the fuck to do. The hooded guy, and I mean, what the fuck was that about? It just felt like it was just quickly coming out there. I mean, this movie came out at the same time as Jason Takes Manhattan, which is one of my favorite Jason movies. I know people hate Jason Takes Manhattan, but I just love him just trashing the streets of Manhattan. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, so 5 was a wasted potential. 6 is fucking terrible. One of the worst in the series. Whether you see the original cut or the producer's cut, it overall is a complete garbage wreck of the entire franchise. And the only thing I can really say about 6 that would have made it good is if the cult that Michael Myers is on was actually the Silver Shamrock Corporation. I know that wouldn't make sense, given Part 3 pretty much takes place in a parallel universe where Halloween is like a movie on television, but you could still make it where, hey, maybe the Halloween of the movie Halloween inspired a movie to be made about the movie. But I like to kind of think that Thorn Cult was actually the Silver Shamrock Company, and if they had connected it with Part 3, I think people would like Part 3 a lot more, but they didn't. They rushed that shit out. Donald Pleasence was just acting his heart out, and the movie was a snub. Let's just fucking forget it. It never happened, except Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, I mean, he's fucking Ant-Man. You can't see him in this shit. H2O, I actually caught it on TV the other night on AMC, because AMC always shows these movies. H2O was good when it came out, but you can see a lot of Scream influence in the film. It is complete Scream ripoff, in my opinion. They wanted to make another Halloween movie, Jamie Lee Curtis on board, but then the studio was like, we want to make it look like Scream. And it's funny with Scream, the one I remember the most is actually the spoof Scary Movie, which, I haven't seen that in a while. I want to take a look at that again, because I love the first 2 Scary Movies. But moving on. So H2O was pretty good. I do like the ending, how it goes for a straight-up, almost horror action film. Resurrection's a piece of shit. Again, completely they fucked it up, and they just, did some stupid gimmick. This time, instead of Scream, it's now Blair Witch Project, but with Michael Myers. And the only thing that saves it is the fight with Busta Rhymes, but it's not even scary, it's fucking hilarious. The ending's bullshit. Fuck that ending. And then came along Rob Zombie's Halloween. I like the remake. I find the remake to be a really decent, not only origin story, but a nice kind of tribute to the original, except it's more gritty and violent, and that's what made it scary. I remember seeing the scene on television where Laurie shoots Michael blank in the face and screams, and that's how the movie ends. Like, it's a pretty terrifying ending. So I felt Malcolm McDowell was okay as Dr. Loomis, but nothing tops Donald Pleasence. And then came along Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Again, they fucked it up. I don't know why, like, for the last 20 years, the follow-up to Halloween ends up being a piece of shit. Rob Zombie, I like what you did with the remake, but then when he took the sequel, it's like he had complete control, and he just decided, I'm gonna make a fucking crack movie, because that movie looks like it. That's when the Halloween franchise was on a complete meth explosion. A complete meth of a film. It is weird. What the fuck is up with the white horse? Why is this in this movie? I mean, the only thing I liked was Laurie, but aside from that, the movie's fucking garbage. Oh my god, what I hated the most was that the trailers, made it look like this was gonna be a complete remake of the second film. And it was, but it was all a fucking dream, and then they do a complete trip fest, and it's fucking garbage. Oh, fuck that movie. That Resurrection in 6, hands down, the worst in this, no, okay, yeah, so, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Resurrection, Halloween 6, and Halloween 5, hands down the worst in the entire series. Out of those, I'd rather watch Halloween 3. So, close to 10 years after Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, very close, coming next year, we finally get pretty much a soft reboot to the series, where it pulls a Godzilla Millennium, where they make a movie and they ignore everything else except the first one. So that's what this is. This is ignoring all the other sequels, and it's pretty much going from 1 to this one. So Halloween. And hey, you know what would be great when this comes out on DVD? Okay, Universal, just side note. When this comes out on DVD, because they're both called Halloween, this would be a good opportunity to make the DVD cover look like the the Atari 2600 game, where it's a box of the cover of the first movie and it says, Halloween, Halloween. think how good that would be as an advertisement for the 2-pack of the original in this film. That would be a good idea. That would be, there's your idea. Keep the money. Just put credit in there. But yeah, so, another way I can describe this new Halloween and everything, and all the previous sequels before we get to it, is it's almost like the Godzilla series. Because I'd say 1 through 6 is the Showa era Halloween. And then you have H2O and H2O and Resurrection. That's the Heisei era, even though they only made 2 films. And now, with the Rob Zombie remake, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and 2018, this is the Millennium Edition. This is the Millennial Halloween. So, let's see where it goes from there. If they take a 10-year gap, then it's going to be a reboot. So, now we come to my first Halloween in theaters, Halloween 2018. What are my thoughts? I loved this movie. This movie was so much fun. It's not only a fantastic follow-up, a great sequel. Like, this is a great sequel. Not like Terminator 2 or Aliens sequel or Empire Strikes Back, but it's a good sequel. It's a decent sequel, even though it's now it's technically the 3rd Halloween 2. And I think, you know what, it would have been, and you know what this means? They should just say, fuck it, throw out this again, make another one, call that Halloween 3. Fuck it, call it Halloween 3. I think that would throw people off. What the fuck happened to 2? Well, the last one was 2. Anyway, so yeah, I really like this movie. It was a fun horror movie. Not in Scream fun, but more just like, you're enjoying it as a return to norm. The return to the normal Halloween. You've got, Michael Myers, just to get into the plot, Michael Myers has been did get caught after disappearing after the first one, and he did go to a mental asylum, and he was been stuck there for 40 years, completely mute. Dr. Loomis passed away, and is now under the care of his apprentice, which I can't remember what the fuck his name is. I'm just gonna call him Dr. Rip Taylor, because that's what he looks like. He looks like fucking Rip Taylor, which is hilarious. So, yeah, you've got Dr. Rip Taylor now taking care of him, the apprentice to Dr. Loomis. There were some great nods to him, so great character all around. And so the doctor's taking care of him, and he hires these podcast guys to come in and interview Michael Myers, and the whole opening scene is fantastic. You've got these guys really wanting to talk to Michael. He's not said a word for 40 years, and even as much as Dr. Loomis was obsessed with Michael, Dr. Rip Taylor's even worse. He's just wanting to get to the roots of why he kills, why someone like his kills. So the podcasts come out, and they show him the mask, which they explain they got it off, like, files or something. And they show him the classic William Shatner mask painted white, and all the other lunatics in the asylum are going crazy. Michael's not saying a thing. It's making the podcasters go crazy. And then we cut immediately to the classic John Carpenter theme. This was wonderful to see on the big screen, the credits roll. It was fantastic. And not only that, it was great to see the jack-o'-lantern, go from rotting to, like, backwards evolving back into a normal pumpkin. And as we zoom in on the pumpkin, on the nose there's the shape of a knife, and on one of the eyes is the shape of Michael, which was a nice touch. But it was just great to hear John Carpenter come back for the music. It felt so good to hear that theme again. Oh, like, because the last one, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, was nowhere. A piece of shit movie. So yeah, now we have, Michael is being transferred to a prison where he'll spend the rest of his days. And, of course, he breaks loose, and he's now out back to Haddonfield to continue what he started 40 years later by killing people. Meanwhile, you've got Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, now a grandmother, and is pretty much Sarah Connor in this movie. She's been prepping her family for the day he comes back, because she knows he'll break loose again. She's got guns and everything. The best way I can describe Laurie Strode in this film is, think Sarah Connor had a love child with Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, and they were able to set up their own traps filled with guns. That's how you describe her. It's the love child of Sarah Connor and Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. That's Laurie Strode in this movie. So she's been prepping the day that Michael would return, and of course he does. And it leads to a final. There's some great kills along the way, fantastic, like great shots in this film, and it all leads down to a final confrontation between Michael versus Laurie Strode, her daughter, and her granddaughter. So, my thoughts, I loved it. It was a great, nice, wonderful tribute to the original. It was a nice, soft reboot to the series, and really, like, if this was the last one, I would have been happy with it. But yeah, it's a great sequel. The characters are great. Laurie's fantastic. You get a lot of the real character, in-depth character with her. Her daughter's kind of a bitch. Not a fan of her. I was actually hoping she would die, but she still pulls through, and you can see her becoming like, oh, fuck, this is what I trained for. This is what I prepared for. The granddaughter's the best one. If this had been like a full remake, like another remake of the original, and she was Laurie Strode, I would have totally bought it. My only wish is that, because I think the actress who plays Laurie's daughter is the same mother chick from Jurassic World who was getting the divorce. I don't know why, but I'm not a fan of that actress. I just find her to be too whiny. They should have gotten the girl from 4 and 5. I think that would have been a nice tribute. Like, if they had got her to be a part of it, just to confuse the audience. I think she would have been much better in the role of Laurie's daughter. But the granddaughter, like I said, is the best part of the movie. She has a full story arc. She basically, you know, is going through the same stuff Laurie did, except it's 40 years later. She's getting chased by Michael. She meets up with Dr. Rick Taylor. I won't get into spoilers of some of the stuff that happens in the movie, because I want to get you guys to see it. And, you know, she eventually is passed on to be the next generation and helps her family out. It's a great film about family, which I love. And basically at the end, you know what, fuck it, I will spoil it, you be warned. Dr. Rip Taylor actually becomes Michael because he's so interested in seeing how he kills, to the point where he basically wants to become Michael to see what makes him tick. And even then, it's not really resolved. I was really hoping we get to see why he does what he does, but we never get an answer, which is fine. But yeah, he offs it in a very great kill. Fucking Michael just crushes his fucking head in like a goddamn watermelon, and it's fantastic. I was like, that was great. A fantastic kill. But yeah, kind of a throwaway villain. I saw it coming a mile away, but yeah, there was that. And then, like, you know, of course, Michael Myers. Once again played by Nick Castle from the original, which is great. And, of course, most of the stunt work was done by a new guy, because they had to get somebody else. Because think about it, Nick Castle's in his, 70s, 80s? Yeah, he's just kind of, like, doing his thing. But yeah, it was fantastic. I thought Michael was, once again, great. A great mysterious creature, a monster of a human being. The kills are fantastic. There are some points where he gets kind of comical, and that's one thing I will point out. This movie is funny. This movie has some great laughs in it, and it feels very self-aware at times. There's one kid, this little kid who's has a babysitter and everything. And he's just the smartest ass little shit I've ever seen. My only problem is we never see him again. He just runs away, gone from the film. I'm like, where the fuck did you go, kid? You were like, there's a scene the scene you see in the trailers where Michael's in the closet and, you know, kills the girl. But I was expecting that kid to run, like, he runs off, you're expecting him to come back in and, like, start beating up Michael. So this would have been turned into the AVGN episode where all the kids beat him up. I would have loved that, if he had stayed around. But he's a great kid, even if he's only, like, in a portion of the movie. But he's saying all the cliches and everything, and, you know, he's like, because the thing is, most of the characters in this movie are kind of dumb, and he's the only smart kid, because he's actually telling people who are doing the dumb, like, dude, don't fucking do it. Do not go in there, man. Don't go in there. People do it anyway. He's like, oh, and I actually remember, he's like, oh, fuck this shit, because he knows what movie he's in, and he's like, I am out. I am not coming back, and I spilled my fucking phone. Anyway, so he was great. Another scene I liked, because it really kind of made me snicker, is where Jamie Lee Curtis meets up with Dr. Rip Taylor and pretty much tells him, oh, so you're the new Loomis. It felt almost like she was winking at the camera saying, yeah, guys, she's literally, like, looking at Dr. Rip Taylor as like, so you're the new Loomis. Yeah, I know, guys, I'm sorry, just, the studio wanted a Loomis for this reboot, I couldn't, had no power, I'm sorry. Anyway, so you're the new Loomis. That's what it felt like. That's what Laurie Strode was like. She's literally looking at the audience like, yep, we're doing this shit again. She's fucking great, but at the same time, it's like, Loomis was a good guy. I don't know why she was ripping on him. Like, they seemed to get along for the one scene they had, or two scenes in Halloween 2, but again, that's not canon. There is a wonderful tribute to Dr. Loomis where they hear all these old recordings. I'm not sure if that's Donald Pleasance. I think it might be. I didn't check the credits, but let me know in the comments if it is. But if it is, I guess it's a good way to reuse dialogue that was never used in previous films and kind of mix it. Or they got a great impersonator. I don't know who it was, but it would be, if somebody could let me know in the comments if that was archival audio of Dr. Loomis, that'd be great. Because, again, he was the best character in the entire series for me. So, the music's great. Once again, it's great to see John Carpenter, basically do the story, like, do the music again. It was great to just hear that classic Halloween theme up on the big screen and see Michael walking around. Fantastic. Wonderful. So yeah, those are most of the pros. My cons. Okay, well, first of all, the ending's spectacular. The ending's a lot of fun, with it all being basically Michael Myers meets Home Alone, which is hysterical. But I didn't like the ending in terms of how the movie ended. Because I was expecting this to be the final Halloween. They kill Michael for good. The end. No more fucking sequels. And yet, Michael's body is nowhere to be found when they burn the place up. And it ends with the daughter holding the knife at the end. Now, here's the thing. If that was a tribute to Halloween 4, I'm kind of okay with that if you go in that fucking direction. Go into the direction where she becomes the new killer. You know, make it a new killer for this franchise. That's what we need. Because I think we're done with Michael. We're done with Michael. I think if they do another one, which, guess what? You know what, here, I'm gonna fucking call this right the fuck now. They kind of set it up to, yes, this movie has made money. This movie is critically praised. It's getting a fucking sequel whether we like it or not. And I'm gonna call it right now. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck it up for the third fucking time. Because what happened? They made H2O, they made a piece of shit sequel. Like, no, they made H2O, they made a sequel, they fucked it up, okay? They fucked it up. Rob Zombie does his remake. It's great, it's fantastic. He does a sequel. They fuck it up. This movie, great film, guess what, guys? They're gonna make a sequel, and they're gonna fuck it up. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. They're gonna fuck it up. If I come back and they make another goddamn Halloween movie, which, by the way, should be called Halloween 3, fuck it, they're gonna I will call back to it right now. I will tell you guys they fucked it up, and you guys can, and if you guys don't believe me, you can pull up this video, and I will say to you straight to face, I'm telling my future self right now, they fucked it up, didn't they? Yeah, they fucked it up. I knew it. You owe me $20. I don't know, but let's see what happens. But yeah, they set it up for a sequel, and of course it's gonna get a sequel. I'm like, just fucking end! This isn't the never-ending story, for Christ's sakes, which, by the way, where the fuck's a reboot or a sequel to that? Like, I know the original's a classic, but can we get like another one, like maybe ignoring 3, but like make a proper sequel or not, maybe a sequel or do a remake. I would like to see a remake done in the style of Lord of the Rings. But to the point, Halloween, back to Halloween. So, yeah, the ending I did not care for. I felt that felt like a studio decision saying, you need to make this a cliffhanger. I know there's a lot of details in what goes on during these sequels and who's in charge of them. And if you guys want to see a full review set of reviews that pretty much sum up well, like a lot of the Halloween movies for the site, except for the first one, because the reviewer we have doesn't like it. Link below to Nick Jackson's YouTube page. He just did a whole Halloween marathon of all the films. I actually joined him for 4 and the Rob Zombie 2 remakes. You guys can go check it out there. I will leave a link in the description below so you can check out his reviews. He does a lot of them for the site, and so does JTISREBORN. I haven't mentioned them yet. Link below, you can check out all their Halloween reviews. So, overall, Halloween 2018 is a good sequel. It is it's a great return to form, and also, by the way, this film not only pays tribute to the original, but it also pays tribute to the entire Halloween franchise. I did see the mask that the kids were wearing with Silver Shamrock masks, which was good. There was a nice nod to 4, there was a nice nod to most of the films, which I thought was great. And not only that, the cinematography feels like the first one. It feels independent. It feels like the movie, it feels like they've gotten a lot of fucking money for this, but it feels like an independent film, which I like. It's like they gave them $20 million, or however how much this movie cost, and they said, make it look independent, make it look low budget, which I appreciated. So, I liked the movie. I thought it was a great sequel, and for my first Halloween movie on the big screen, pretty damn good. I'm actually overall pretty positive with it, minus the ending. The ending is the only thing I'm just thinking, you could have just killed him. You could have just killed him. I don't know. But yeah, guys, that's it for my review of Halloween 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And, of course, happy Halloween, because I'm going to be posted on that day. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on Halloween 2018? And what's overall your favorite entry in the franchise? Let me know in the comments section below. So until the next video, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms, signing... Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think I saw something out there. If you don't hear from me, go see the movie.